All right, baby. We are live. We are live. But we must let it breathe. What's going on, everybody? We just got to connect Facebook. Hopefully it plays ball tonight. And we'll get tonight's show going. Really excited. We're only a couple days away from the meet and greet. And welcome in. It is the Mile High Huddle podcast. I'm your host, Chad Jensen. With me tonight, Nick Kendell in the flesh. My partner in crime, Zack Kelberman. We're here to have a good show. Zack, well, first of all, Nick, what's up, dude?
Hey, doing pretty well. Excited to join you guys in person now, hanging out, and really excited for this weekend's meet and greet. Look forward to it all year. This is probably the best Broncos team we've seen as well, and a little bit of excitement in this game with the Giants. A little bit upstart, Jackson Dart, Cam Scattaboo, and Jonathan Cooper. Maybe poking the bear a little bit today with some comments. So I'm really excited. I'm excited to see everybody. It's always a great time. So hopefully I'll see a lot of you guys there.
Zack, dude, it's finally here, the meet and greet weekend. Are you ready, bro?
I am beyond ready. This is going to be the best meet and greet yet, and we're not going to see a stinker like we saw last year against the Steelers. And Nick mentioned the Jonathan Cooper comments. Today I learned that the Giants have one of the most sensitive fan bases in the NFL. The amount of butthurt that's coming from that is ridiculous. We'll get into it later.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It's insane.
I've been so busy with just getting ready for this weekend that I've missed some of that stuff. But guys, the mic might sound a little bit more echoey tonight because my normal setup with this, it just doesn't work with Nick sitting next to me because then I'm loud, he's quiet. So we're just using basically the computer microphone, but it's only for one episode, and this too shall pass. Some hellos real quick. Big Earn, what's up? We got members. C. Chang's in the house. We got members like Raj, what's up, bro, who says, I expect a bounce back on offense, and I expect the defense to dominate, especially at home for the alumni. 38-14, really cool. Ronk, what's up, buddy? Great to have you in the hizzy. So kind of interesting. First things first, I want to talk about Zack and Nick is the practice report. So unlike last week where the Broncos were bringing Malcolm Roach back from injured reserve, he was limited on Wednesday, full on Thursday, full on Friday, Saturday they activated. Greenlaw, they started his clock yesterday. He was limited. Then he was limited today instead of being full. Do you think that's a harbinger? Zack, I'll ask you, dude. What do you think's the direction Greenlaw's headed this week?
I think that even if he plays, we can't expect the elite peak Dre Greenlaw to come out in his first game with the Broncos. There's going to be some sort of ramp up, maybe a snap count. We're going to get some, hopefully, and until he plays, I'll believe it when I see it. But we're going to see incremental ramp up for Dre Greenlaw. I don't look at it as a red light right now. I still think he has the green light, but tomorrow's practice should tell us more. What
do you think?
I'm with Zack as far as seeing it and believing it. This hamstring, I guess, dates back to his time in high school even. So this has been a long-term chronic issue with him. And the more he prepped, he's going to be ready week one. Oh, he's not ready week one. He's going to be out for a bit. Oh, now he's going, we're just day by day. Oh, now he's on the IR. So anything we get from him will be great. The one positive, I guess, we have is obviously it'll be better to have Greenlaw here. Everybody in Broncos country is really hungry for some tenacity and glass eaters from the second level of the defense. But Justin Strnad's been playing great football. Alex Singleton seems to have his legs under him a little bit more than he had. And this is a team that struggled the Giants with the drop back pass game. So I think cautious is the name of the game here with Greenlaw. I don't think they necessarily need him in this game. Now, would it be great to have him flying around and busting Cam Scattaboo and Jackson Dart? Yeah. And if he's activated and plays 5 snaps, that's a win. I guess with the injuries and stuff going on, I do wonder about, is he worth the activation for 5 snaps when you're trying to deal with special teams issues right now? Because that could be a special teams body that's activated instead. But my thought right now is Dre Greenlaw going to make or break this game against the Giants? Or is he going to make or break the back half of the season? I'd rather be conservative with him.
Yeah, it would be quite the tragedy to go through everything that the Broncos have with Dre Greenlaw, slow rolling it, then you got the setbacks, then you got to slow roll it again to then rush him even the faintest little bit back onto the field. However, how great would it be with Scattaboo trying to hit that hole hard and seeing Greenlaw right there? Bam, dude. That I did a guest podcast for last night. I joined a Giants podcast, and that chat, it was a live stream like what we do, and their chat, dude, was so what's a good word? Bullish on Scatabo being able to just run people over. Like, no one's going to want to drop into the hole against Scatabo. They're really high on him for obvious reasons, but I'd love to see Greenlaw. But at the same time, hey, man, if he's not ready, he's not ready. We'll have a better idea, I guess, Zach, tomorrow.
Yeah, and more so than smashing a running back, he'll be able to cover a wheel route out of the backfield, something Sternad and Singleton definitely cannot do. They have the run stoppers in the front seven. They don't have anyone linebacker-wise, inside linebacker-wise, that can run with a running back. So, God willing, Dre Greenlaw get healthy fast and plays a full complement of snaps.
Hey, guys, if our microphone stuff is off tonight, again, if you're just joining us, I'm not using my normal mic so that you can hear both Nick and I. Scott, I'll see if I can figure out how to turn it down, but it's not, I might be able to figure it out now, but not right this second. MBLEX, what's up, brother? Great to see you. A dear member, a superstar, gifting a Mile High Huddle membership in the chat. Bro, thank you so much. It'd be awesome if we had a chance to meet you at the meet and greet this year, but if not this year, sometime hopefully to come. I know that Roy's going to be there, and he's stoked. Roy's like, this will be fun. Can't wait to see you guys. I want it to be loud. Oh, it shall be loud. It'll be loud, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, they're celebrating Super Bowl 50. They're having DT and in the Ring of Fame. His family's going to be there. They're going to unveil the statue of Deirius Thomas, one of the top 2 receivers in Broncos history, and somebody that, I mean, just a golden era for Broncos. So, I mean, from obviously the Tim Tebow overtime touchdown reception to also obviously the years with Peyton Manning. So really happy that we can reflect on DT, and I think everybody's going to be really juiced up. Denver's been away for a little bit. You know, when they were last at home, it was kind of like, what is this team Monday night? Bengals come in, they beat them. There's like, fans couldn't even get that excited about it because they beat the Bengals so bad. It kind of felt like I said in one of my shows, like when Ohio State plays Akron, it's like, oh, the fans are there. You can't really get that hyped because they haven't crossed midfield since the first freaking drive. So I think with coming home 4-2, the Giants have a little bit of mustard right now as well. The fans are going to be wild. I'm expecting a great crowd, as always, but especially Denver's a lot to play for right now. A lot of hype.
Been 2 weeks, too, since the home crowd got to see the boys. Mike, what's up, brother? Says not going to the game, but the meet and greet is still on the table. Yeah, and that's the thing for those of you who do live local. Maybe it's not in the cards for you to go into the game, but come down to the stadium and say hi. You don't need a ticket to get in. We're just right out in Lot D. We'll be there ready for you as of about 11 a.m., hanging out, some food, some drinks, and then the game, of course, a little bit after 2. So we'll start breaking it down about 1:45, get everything tidied up, and then head in. Now, you could go all the way to that point and say adios from there. So for what it's worth, Mike, come down and say, what's up, dude? You don't need to go to the game. Lance, he'll be there. What's up, brother? Can't wait to see everybody on Sunday. Yeah, dude, it's going to be awesome. Boss Man Jay, I did get your email today. That's really cool. As I mentioned earlier in the email, though, let's talk more about your thing next week when we're not really juggling so much novelty like we are this week. But, okay, let me take a look at something here. Zack, on the practice report, if I can find it, where did it go? Did I delete this? I might have. Stand by. On the practice report, are you at all worried about Jonathan Cooper's quad? He was limited again today, Zack.
No, he was made available to the media, obviously. That's why he made those comments. I don't think they would have put him out there if he was in danger of missing the game. So I think he'll be out there sacking Jackson Dart and making these Giants fans eat their words and their hearts out, by the way.
So Cooper limited. Of course, we already mentioned Greenlaw. Jonah Ellis is a DNP both days. So it's not looking good for Ellis after he missed last week as well. Nick Benito still on the injury report with his wrist, but he's been full. Same with Alex Singleton. So that's the roundup. Nick, any thoughts on that?
It's a bummer to see Cooper dealing with a quad injury following his AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Broncos back-to-back, especially because Jonah Ellis is injured. We did see some flashes from Q Robinson. He'll be active if Ellis is out. Hopefully, can help with the special teams as well. That's a theme. Every single show I have to talk about special teams making me mad. But I'm hoping that Cooper is 100% because Jackson Dart and Scatabo, they're going to run. They want to run the football. He's the third quarterback in NFL history to run for 50 yards in his first 3 starts. The other quarterbacks being Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson. So Denver's going to need a full list of their guys in the front 7, assuming Greenlaw and Ellis are out.
If you look at the Giants injury report, it's a list of the walking wounded. I mean, Thursday alone, they had 6 DNPs, 5 limited guys. Real quick, Zach, since I know you're not looking at this, I'm going to ask Nick real fast. Of this list of players, I could sit and list them all, but here, who jumps out the most for you in terms of whether it'll impact the game?
Probably Darius Slayton, just because the Giants are already down, obviously, Malik Neighbors. And while they've really been peppering Wan'Dale Robinson, he's a little bit more of a gadget player. So I feel like it really can compress the Giants' offense and allow the Broncos to play eyes on the quarterback, eyes on the run game downhill, which doesn't bode well for Scatabo or Dart with Hufanga the way he's playing right now.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. I'm going to serve this one over to Zach. Ralph says, Mile High Huddle, thank you so much for the jersey. I love being part of the best Broncos family there is. See everyone Sunday. Zach, the Bray Skirtles go hard. This I know because I got a chance to hang out with them this summer when Bridge the Gap was on tour, and they came out and supported the cause, and it was really cool. But looking forward to seeing these boys and everybody else.
Yeah, thank you, Ralph, for that comment. It's going to be the best meet and greet yet. Can't wait to see you out there on Sunday.
Last season was a little bit of a setback. We were undefeated for the meet and greet games until last season. We're gonna get back on the winning track here. Lance says, got an idea for a nickname for the Broncos pass rush, the National Western Sack Show. It kind of sounds dirty a little bit, right? It's a spinoff of the big rodeo in Denver in January. And with how fast these edge rushers steer rest QBs, it's perfect. Yeah, what do you think, Zach?
I think it sounds dirty. The Western Sack Show. I think this is a PG program, Lance.
Yeah,
what are we doing here?
For a super chat, we can have the National Western Sack Show on here, though. It depends on what the dollar is.
No doubt. No doubt about it. Let's see here. So Bossman Jay wants to know if Javonte seems to be back to 100%. Javonte Williams, of course, now with the Dallas Cowboys. Year 3 removed from the injury. Will Singleton take as long? Jay, thank you for being a member, my brother, and for the support. Give my our best to your wife as well. What do you think, Zach? Is Singleton suffered an ACL in week 3 last season? He has started, to his credit, every game so far this year. He's had the thumb and thus a club for a lot of this season. At his age, can you even hope for a bounce back?
No, he's cooked. And I'm not over-exaggerating with that. He was always a limited player, even before the injury. And it's kind of tough to compare, Jay, 2 different players, 2 different rehabs, 2 different bodies. It's apples and oranges, 2 different injuries, in that sense. So I don't know that he's going to come back like Javonte, 2 different positions as well. But Singleton was always limited, and he looks almost unplayable at times this year.
What do you think? What do you think, Nick? Now, real quick, I'm going to posture it like this. If you had your druthers and Greenlaw's coming back, which linebacker's taking a seat?
Singleton.
Honestly, I think it's a competition for all 3. The Kansas City Chiefs are able to work in 3 different linebackers. And so while Greenlaw, he was going to come in this season on a pitch count anyway, I would assume that you have Singleton probably wearing the green dot, not to mess with the communication. I agree, Zach. He's always been he's a great personality, and he seems like a great guy in the locker room and everything. So he's a little bit he's beloved by the fan base, but maybe a little overrated for his play on the field. But I think early on, you probably have Greenlaw in base packages and then Stranad in sub packages, and you find ways to work those 3 guys in. And if one gets injured, which I'll knock on wood, it is the league, though, that happens, the decision might be made for you at that point. You also have Drew Sanders maybe coming back at some point. Again, everyone drink mixed special teams, but how much Vance Joseph's using simulated pressures, and they were trying to use that last year with Drew Sanders as well. So to answer the question, will Singleton be back to what he was? I think we've already probably seen him to get back to the level he is. I do think he's been a little better the last 2 weeks. Like the Indy game, It was horrific. And he's definitely slower. Linebackers age, unless you're an all-timer, age 30, age 31, 32, start to be a little bit for some of those guys. But also, I do want to say, it wasn't just the ACL for Javonte Williams. He shredded his knee. So it's a much more of a severe injury. Honestly, it's a miracle he came back after 1 year, and it's a miracle that he's looking like he is right now, because that was a career-ending MCL, ACL, another ligament. I mean, maybe the LCL as well. I mean, I think that's the Dante Culpepper end of the career kind of injury that he had.
If it happens even 10 years prior, he's not coming back. But that's something George Payton talked about at the combine, that they still believed that he hadn't even yet fully recovered from his knee, kind of hinting that maybe they were going to bring him back. It didn't shake out that way, and here we are. But guys, lots more to get to. We're going to do the Broncos Giants head to head. But guys, first off, listen, we're back in the house. Football's been rolling now for many weeks. It's in full swing. Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action and win money. And it's easy to play on Underdog. You simply pick whether your favorite player, Bo Nix, J.K. Dobbins, you name it, is going to go higher or lower on stats such as touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more.
That's right. Get your picks correct, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash, and you can play with as little as $1. So if you think you've got a beat on what Bo Nix's stats are going to be this week, download Underdog and win some money today.
It's fun, guys. Playing Underdog, watching football with the chance to win money. It's a no-brainer. It's a touchdown. So download the Underdog app today. Sign up with promo code MHuddle to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's our promo code that you see on screen, MHuddle. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets at underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Woo! Let's go.
Something to breathe.
Nice, dude. Hey, that's better than the old recording, but when you have Nick ready to rock and roll, but you know that we don't get that every single night on the MHH podcast. Patrick, what's up, dude? How you doing? Great to have you in the hizzy. Hope you're doing well. We hope one of these days you'll be able to make it out to the meet and greet, which I know it's not easy from your neck of the woods, from paradise, frankly, let's face it, to make it out to Mile High. But one of these days, my brother, it would be awesome. Rock wants to know, where's your hat, Nick?
I got to show off the flow. My brother-in-law, he's completely gone up top there. So any chance I get, so he's I got to show it off when I can. But I got the hat. I'll definitely have the hat for the meet and greet. So I still got to find some of my stuff. My house is in disarray. Would not recommend moving and unpacking with a 21-month-old. That's a different type of torture.
Not fun.
No,
not fun. But yeah, thank you again, Patrick. You're a prince. Lion Coffee, get after it. It's great stuff. Okay, Scott's getting the head-to-head queued up. So yeah, Ronk, we're going to do that right here shortly. Just a few more hellos, folks, in the chat. Stream Guy wants to know, isn't Greenlaw a better pass coverage inside linebacker? I'd use him on third downs in passing situations. Nick, you have a take on this. Break it down.
I would say it's hard to say, honestly, because he played next to Fred Warner. So, like, when you play for us next to Fred Warner in your time for San Francisco, your job's going to be easier because Fred Warner has been in a class of his own. Greenlaw was more of a sideline-to-sideline glass eater. Now, in theory, dropping into zone coverage, you can see some of that. Didn't really see so much heavy man coverage from that 49ers team, which the Broncos run man cover one more than any team in the NFL. So, like, it's in theory, but it's always in theory because you're changing the variables around him. And when you have Fred Warner next to you, you're second fiddle. So obviously, great player. Denver, we need him just because the tenacity, sideline to sideline, the physicality he brings, that's on tape, regardless of playing next to Fred Warner. But some of the pass coverage stuff, I think probably early on, and like how much communication matters and all of that, I'd rather just have him hunt as he's being integrated back into the defense and have where the communication's been between Strnad and Singleton, personally.
Zack, you got to at least hope it wouldn't be any worse, right, than how it's been with the coverage from the linebackers.
Nick mentioned the Colts game, and there's a replay of a Tyler Warren catch where he completely puts Singleton and Strnad both on skates. It was embarrassing, so it can't possibly get worse. This has been their Achilles heel for 10 years now, pass covering inside linebacker. It's why they signed Greenlaw. So whether they ramp him up, whether he's on a snap count, as long as he's on the field, he's going to be an upgrade in the middle of that defense.
No, Nick, by the way, Mike, no. Nick, he's just stopping by. We got things to plan for. The meet and greet this weekend. Now that Nick sleeps on Chad's couch, is he going to be on Thursdays going forward? No, it's just a special treat for you guys.
Big spoon.
Yeah, exactly. And it is a bummer. You mentioned Warner, the fact that he was injured last week, out for the season. All right, guys, time for the head-to-head. Your Denver Broncos at 4-2 against the inverted 2-4 New York Giants. Green means top 10 ranking. Red means bottom 10. And as you see there, these two teams are tied when it comes to turnover differential. Both of them have given it away 3 times more than they've taken it, tied for 23rd together. So that's an interesting coinkydink. Time of possession, though, the Broncos rank in the top 10. So they're exactly 10th, whereas the Giants, it's only separated by about 30 seconds of possession, but that puts them at 14th. And that's kind of a margin of can make a difference in the NFL, I guess, is what I'm saying. Now, when we look at these offenses head-to-head, neither is really giving you anything to write home about on paper. The Broncos' calling card so far, though, has been a top 10 rushing offense. They rank 7th. And then Bo Nix is the second fewest sacked quarterback. That was a poor way of saying it. But he's only been sacked 6 times, which is the second fewest in the NFL. For the Giants, their only real calling card here is rushing with Scatabo and what's been going on with Dart. They rank tied for 9th, averaging 126.2 yards per game. Now you look at the turnovers. Giants have been picked off 5 times. Some of those were Russ. 3 fumbles lost, 8 total giveaways. The Broncos have 7 total giveaways. Neither team is too good on third down. The Giants are absolutely atrocious in the red zone, and so are the Broncos on third down. So, Zach, you first. What are your observations on offense, and then we'll get some of Nick's takes.
Can you tell the Giants had Russell Wilson at quarterback? Look at that. 25th in yards per play, 26th in points per game, and most importantly, 23rd in intercepted. I'm only partly kidding there because Jackson Dart has moderately improved the offense, made him more explosive, not so limited. The Broncos, though, got out of the red for their part, Chad. They were deeply red in certain areas, and they're steadily improving.
Nick, what jumps out to you, bud?
I think that it is pretty hard to look at these Giants stats and have it be a complete indicator of who this team is right now because we are just 3 games into the Jackson Dart era. So really, seasons are broken up into quarters every year, and it's kind of a different iteration every time, and you try to win those quarters. But as we've seen with Jackson Dart in there, the energy has changed. So while some of the yards per play, points per game are poor, I don't know if it is actually truly representative for this team right now. So Denver's, while I don't expect the Giants to come out and, really honestly hang with the Broncos defense from their offensive side of the ball, I wouldn't sleep on them either based on the numbers.
We shall see. But if the Broncos are going to get anywhere this week, I think they'll have a nice, I've talked about it earlier this week, a nice emotional, energetic lift from being back home in front of the crowd. But they got to basically keep the chains moving. That third down number has to be better. Defensively, look at all that greenery. It's beautiful. The Broncos rank 2nd in yards per game, 1st in yards per play, 2nd in points per game, relinquishing 15.8, 6th in rushing, 3rd in passing, which has actually been a huge improvement. They, for the first half of what's already been played this season, they were middle to edging on bottom 3rd in passing, but the last couple weeks that started to climb back up, and now they're ranked 3rd. Only 1 pick, though. And really only 4 total takeaways with 6 games under their belt. But 1st in sacks, as everybody knows, 1st in third down, and 1st in red zone. Mm-hmm. That's a new development as of this week. And then you look at the Giants, 28th in yards, 28th in yards per play, 20th in points, 22nd in rushing, 26th in passing, only 5 total takeaways, so 1 more than the Broncos. And they only have 13 sacks relative to the Broncos at 30. That ties them for 15th. They're middle of the pack, though, third down red zone. So when I was on that Giants podcast last night, they talked a lot about, Nick, I'll get your take on this first, how great the Giants' front 7 is, specifically that defensive line. How come it's not coming out in the wash?
We kind of saw it, not to, pick at any old scars for Broncos country, but Denver had Von Miller. I think it was the first year of Vic Fangio or second year of Vic Fangio. You had Bradley Chubb and Von Miller, and they went like 6 games without getting a sack. So it takes more than just the pass rush to get it. And the back 7 for the Giants has been really struggling this season. So they do have some good pieces. I mean, Javon Holland's a good player, but when you watch the Giants, you can see their talent. I would say Dexter Lawrence is not having as like an all-pro season like he had last year, but Abdul Carter is legit, and Brian Burns is probably a dark horse defensive player of the year candidate right now. I think he's just 1 sack behind Benito, and he's having a heck of a year. So Broncos, luckily, they have 2 decent tackles. I mean, McGlinchey's not been named. Like when we first signed him, it was all the time like, oh, McGlinchey again. We don't really notice him, which is a good thing in pass protection most of the time. So I'm hoping that Denver, as well as Bo Nix's superpower, which is the ability to not get sacks, will help keep the Broncos out of unmanageable passing situations.
Zach, what jumps out to you about these defensive head-to-heads?
As always, the only things I really care about are how the Broncos are doing on 3rd down in the red zone. And first, I'll take that gladly. On the other side of the ball, it looks like the Giants are exploitable through the air. This could be a game for Bo Nix to show his stuff.
I do want to point out just obviously the biggest discrepancy based on the stats. And again, different offense, different quarterback, but Broncos first in red zone defense so far. And the Giants were 30th, 31st in red zone offense. 30th. There you go. So Denver, they've been obviously a really good red zone team this season, and I would expect that to continue. I will be curious because you think the running quarterback and how tough Scatterbo runs, they'd be a little bit better in the red zone, but obviously not the case based on the stats so far.
Special teams. Let's get into the exciting third phase, which the Broncos made a big move during this week to improve some of these numbers we're going to talk about. Bringing in the former, 3 or 4-time All-Pro special teamer, JT Gray, who was languishing on the Ravens practice squad. Like, that was kind of crazy after the Saints had released him because of money. But let's look at this. Broncos ranked 19th in gross punting, 20th in net, 12th in punt return average. So Mims has been good, but it's been a couple of games since he's really had a meaningful return, so that average is starting to dip a little. Punt coverage, though, is not good, barely outside of the bottom 10. 13th tied for kickoff return average. 32nd, literally, dead last in the NFL in yardage allowed on kickoffs. And then the good news is he's only missed once, Will Lutz, so that's an 88.9% conversion rate, tied for 10th best in the NFL. But look at the Giants. They've got 4 of the 7 categories. They're in the green, and in fact, they've yet to miss a field goal. They're 100%. Ties them for first. They're 3rd in kick return coverage. They're 5th in their own kick return yardage. 4th in punt return coverage. So it's going to be a tough one for Mims this week, it looks like. Nick.
I mean, if you guys follow me on Twitter, X, whatever it is, every single game this season, same takeaways. Special teams has not been good enough for Denver. And the next category you can see underneath there, penalties as well. Their statistic I like to reference, EPA. The Broncos have lost the 5th most EPA this season from special teams. Obviously, the penalty that resulted in the walk-off win for the Colts is a big part. Fumble from Mims is a big part. And the kickoff coverage has just been horrific. So Rizzi, I mean, everybody's really excited to bring him in. I was excited to bring him in. Results pretty darn poor so far. So they need to figure that out. Denver's offense isn't good enough right now to be losing in special teams and offense as many games as Denver has. And then, again, the kickoff coverage. I got to figure it out. I know there was the interview or press conference with Rizzi where he talked about like how hard and risky the squib kick is because it might not land in the zone. Well, is it so risky that you're going to have the worst kickoff coverage in football? Because you're already there, buddy.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. He's been quite underwhelming up to this point. It's been not as other than the punt and kick coverage. It's gotten a little bit better, but there was a time there, a 3-4 game stretch to begin the season where you were seeing leaks and miscues from every facet of third phase, whether it was Lutz missing, muff punts, the leverage penalty. But this has been the biggest killer for them since the leverage penalty, and that is their coverage, which is why they made the move, bringing in a a Sean Payton favorite. So last thing here, we look at penalties. Broncos and Giants are tied, Zach, for the 28th most penalty. Pardon me. What's the right way to say that? They've got 49 penalties each, ties them for 28th in the NFL. So not good. But the Broncos have the 7th most penalties against their opponents, whereas the Giants get the most penalties out of their opponents per game. What do you make of that?
Well, Pert was responsible single-handedly for 3 penalties last week, so him not playing this week should benefit them. That's been my biggest gripe, even more so than play calling from Sean Payton, are the continued penalties, the lack of discipline, and just the pre-snap stuff. It's unforgivable when you're a Super Bowl, I don't want to say contender, but he considers them a championship caliber team. They can't happen going forward. It has to be rectified Sunday.
Super Bowl aspirations for sure, and they put that pressure on themselves. So got to clean it up. You look at this, the big 3 things in this Broncos team, if they want to, other than the offense going from, what would you say, like 20th ranked in the league, something like that so far this season. Other than that, improving and getting into the top 12, they got to fix the penalties, like Zack said. They have to fix the special teams. Your defense is too good to be spotting the other team the ball in plus territory. I mean, the Jets didn't even, I guess they earned the safety, but like most of their points, I would say they didn't earn. That was from special teams in the offense giving it up. So got to clean up special teams. And also, as we saw in the head-to-head, Broncos got to start taking the ball away. And that's something I'm looking for in this game. I keep calling for it just because natural regression, it just kind of happens, and it happens in bunches. But Scatterbo, one of my big issues with him coming out of Arizona State is because he fights so hard for every yard. He's been prone to getting gang tackled and the ball punched out. As Sean Payton said last season, you got to know when the ride is over. And I don't know if there's enough going on up there for Scatterbo to know when the ride's over. He might think he's still on the ride. I don't know. And then Jackson Dart as well. I mean, he's putting his body out there. I mean, it's a fun style, but it's not a long-term style. And it's one that's not only going to put his health and ability in risk, but the ball as well. So I'm looking for the Broncos to take care of it. I know statistically in the 3 Jackson Dart starts, they have 0 giveaways in the 2 home games that they won. I think they had 5 in the game on the road versus the Saints. So takeaways are huge. I would love to see the Broncos get the ball rolling in the takeaways. That's like the one piece missing for me statistically from this defense, going from they might be the best in the league. They're very good. If you start taking the ball away, setting your offense up, give them some shorter fields, we might have something. That's just I think they really need to get the ball rolling there.
Zach, it's kind of like Scott said in our private chat. It's hard to get interceptions when you're putting the QB on his ass 30 times in 6 games.
Yeah, but I agree with what Nick is saying. At some point, the turnovers have to come because they're going to be late game situations where the defense has to get the ball back for the offense. And it's great that they're sacking the quarterback, but you got to start giving the offense better field position by taking it away. I agree with that.
All right, we got Tucson Phil in the house. How you doing, big dog? Great to have you. Thanks for your support. He says, good evening, Chad, Zach, Nick, and Deacon Scott. I've been reading possible trade candidates like Lazard, Lockett, Myers, and Cooks. Are any of these really a possibility? Hashtag Buckham, MHH for life, Broncos for life. Zach, do you see any of those names as being legitimate for the Broncos? Because, your thoughts.
The only one I would want from there is Myers, but the Raiders are not trading him in division to the Broncos. I know Olave is available from New Orleans. I'd love to have him, even though he's a concussion away from retiring. Jalen Waddle's out there, AJ Brown. There's some rumors. There's a lot of good receivers, and I would aim a little higher maybe than Jacoby Myers.
I think Myers is going to be on his way to New England, pair back up with Josh McDaniels, and they are desperate for another option out there. I mean, as good as Butte has been, and Stephon Diggs, Kayshawn, they still need another weapon out there because Drake May is playing good ball, and the Patriots they're feisty. They might win the AFC East if the Bills look vulnerable. I also think there's another name on that list. Lazard has been heavily linked to the Steelers as well because he's one of Aaron Rodgers' guys, and Steelers obviously need another wide receiver. So the name on that list that I've heard, through Twitter, nothing direct, but the one I've heard linked to Denver is Lockett. I think Denver was interested in getting Lockett before, also on a veteran contract. It might have even been this offseason. I can't exactly recall, but that's one I'd keep an ear out for. A
few other names. Zach, you brought this to my attention on X, and I wrote it up, but this is from Pro Football Focus linking the following names to the Broncos as potential trade, the Broncos as a potential landing spot. Mark Andrews, tight end. David Njoku, tight end. Demario Davis, linebacker, Saints. He's 36, but he's a longtime Sean Payton guy. We already talked about Myers. Jordan Brooks, linebacker. Okonkwo, I always screw up his name, dude. The Titans tight end, and then Jamal Adams. What about those names? Any of those names, Zach?
It'd be super fun to have Dre Greenlaw and Demario Davis on the same field together. You mentioned his age, but Davis is still playing at a very high level. I don't know that they would trade for a tight end when they're already not using Evan Ingram enough. I think they're gonna stand pat at the trade deadline this year.
What do you think, Nick?
I think right now Denver is still in evaluation mode for where their roster is at. When you look at where a lot of teams are winning right now, it is a lot of 12 personnel, so 2 tight ends on the field. I think the issue is that the staff and Sean Payton love Adam Troutman, who's blocked better as of late. But if you're trading for Njoku, stands out. I think last year of his contract, Browns are in obvious sell mode. I'd love that Njoku with Ingram being a little bit more of the detached weapon, but does the staff want to displace Troutman? I don't know. They didn't list it, but the spot I'm keeping an eye on, it does sound like it'll probably be Palczewski at left guard in this game. If he struggles there, or God forbid you have another injury on the offensive line, I'm on offensive line watch right now, which is not as flashy. I know you're expected to get Powers back, but yeah, he might be out of shape. You've had issues with Wattenberg at center as well. Maybe there's something, it's not a flashy move, but it could be a stabilizing move for the offense. So I wouldn't rule out an interior offensive line veteran as well.
String guy Chad, Nick looks like he wants to elbow you out of the catbird seat. LOL, just kidding. Yeah. We got Roxanne. Alvin Kamara said that the only team he will ever play for is the Saints. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. Yeah, I don't think Pearl, what's up? How are you? Hi, Michael. She's watching the game and listening to MHH. That's a good combination. We appreciate you. Probably watching Avs is what I'm guessing. I don't know. But anything we haven't covered tonight, guys, from a news perspective? I've been a little bit unplugged. I know you have as well. Zach, anything from the talking points, the storylines? All right.
The Cooper stuff, maybe.
And just the celebration of Super Bowl 50. I mean,
right.
All those guys are going to be there. I think I heard about 150 members of the organization from that team are going to be back. Obviously not Von Miller, Brandon McManus, Trevor Siemian, guys who are still active in the league from that team, and obviously not DT or Ronnie Hillman, who passed away back in 2022, I believe. But a lot of guys are going to be back. It's going to be special. They're going to honor these guys and gals at halftime on the field. So I think it's going to be a pretty special timing. That was a miraculous season. I feel like we've been paying for that season the last 10 years until Sean Payton came, because it just didn't make any sense. Like it just had the ball bouncing Denver's way, the lead in Super Bowl 50, like games flowed exactly how they needed to for Denver with the zombie of Peyton Manning to win those games, and they did it. So luckily, I think we paid our dues on that one.
No doubt. And DT going into the Ring of Fame.
Yeah.
I'm looking for Cortland Sutton to maybe have a kind of an emotional, productive game. Like I think he's going to be feeling it. Our friend Josh, the Boot Boy 90, checking in. What's up, brother? Thank you for the super chat. The first one of the night. Appreciate you, big dog. Says, I just want to see some points scored this weekend. Nothing cute from Coach Payton. Downhill running, spread out the offense, and get this dub. Yeah, it's been kind of lean numbers the last couple weeks. What was it? Was it 17 points in week 5? I'm trying to remember what the margin was, or 20 against the Eagles.
I think they went for 2. I think it was 18, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a weird number. And then 13 last week. Not enough, Zach.
No, but Boot Boy is correct here. Keep it simple, stupid. That should be the game plan. Lean on the run. Let Bo Nix test him deep. Hopefully the receivers catch. Hopefully the offensive line holds up. Hopefully Bo Nix makes the throw. And hopefully Sean Payton is calling the right plays and not overthinking it or galaxy braining himself as he tends to do.
Josh becomes a member live. Dude, thank you, brother. Really appreciate you. Longtime OG. Also a brother in not only the Broncos, but in the kind of music we like. So really cool, buddy. Punk rock, let's go. Thank you, dude. All right, guys, we're going to call it for tonight. Before we do, though, we got Boss Man Jay. I mean, I should bite my tongue for even thinking.
You are calling it.
Like, say what now? Jay, dude, thank you, pal. Wow, very generous, super.
Mm-hmm.
He says, early night, so I'm missing the end of the show. You guys are great. Hope to catch the meet and greet next year with our little one.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that would be awesome. And thank you. That means a lot. I know that's probably like one of these days. One of these days we'll catch you at the meet and greet, hopefully, big dog. So thank you, Jay. And relative to your email, hit me up again next week.
Yeah, Jay, thank you so much. There's a lot of members that haven't been to the meet and greet yet that we would love to come out there too, and you're definitely on that list. So appreciate it so much, and hopefully soon.
Yeah, cool and congrats on the little one. I don't know how old, but
pretty recent.
Pretty recent.
Mm-hmm.
So congrats on that, big dog. You and the missus. So give her our best. Phil wants to know, Nick, your family coming to the meet and greet?
That's the plan. I mean, we have a kid in daycare, so everything is day by day because you never know what bugs or worms are going to come home with. But that's the plan. Yeah, my parents are driving out, and we'll be there. So it should be a lot of fun, and hopefully the little one is on the best behavior. We're entering the terrible twos, and the favorite word is no. And and when he came to the meet and greet last time, I had him on the carrier, so really nice and easy.
Yeah.
Now he does not want to be contained, and he wants to climb everything. So God bless him. Like his mom, I guess that way. She was taken off as well with her mom, with a single mom. But it should be a lot of fun, and really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to the game. It's going to be a great weekend. I'm expecting Denver to win. I got to probably just tell Chad, voice to text, my score prediction here. I didn't have a chance to.
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
But I mean, the key for me is real simple in this one. It's turnovers. I just do not think the Giants defense, while they're talented up front, has been really a good cohesive unit. And their offense, as fun as they've been, I don't think they have the weapons on the perimeter and the overall offense, Dart on the road, and probably the most raucous environment he'll have played in. I mean, he was an SEC quarterback, but NFL faster, for sure.
Yeah.
So if Denver takes care of the football, it could be an ugly win again. You look back at the end of the season, that looks just the same. So I would love to see takeaways come from the Denver defense as well. Don't get me wrong. That needs to start happening. But if Denver protects the football, they should be able to control this one. They're a 7.5-point favorite according to Vegas for a reason. And Vegas wasn't built looking like it does on bad bets.
Excellent point. MBLEX says, spoiler, Nick, their favorite word will always be no matter how old they get. This I can confirm. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We got a few messages for you. One last big reminder we'll hit on the meet and greet, and then we're going to take one last look at the chat. So consider this the 2-minute warning for any burning questions, topics, supers.
Tremendous episode, as always, of the Mile High Huddle podcast. If you're not doing so, please follow us on X at the MHH Pod. You can follow the main account at Mile High Huddle, Chad at Chad and Jensen, myself at Kelberman NFL, and Scott, our producer, at Scout Kennedy. If you guys want some merch like we're rocking each and every single podcast, check out MHHmerch.com and get you some. If you haven't done so yet, please drop us a like at Facebook.com/Mile High Huddle Pod. You can find us on Instagram at Mile_High_Huddle. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure you're leaving your football priest and Nick a 5-star review for a chance to win some merch each and every single month. But if anything, y'all, please, very important as always that you subscribe, you like, you share this video and every video you see on the MHH channel. It really helps us grow and reach more Broncos fans just like you.
Yes. MBLEX, dude, stoked to see you. See you on Sunday. Excited to meet everyone in real life. It's going to be awesome. Now, just make sure, guys, like a lot of you, we don't know you by your real names. So you might have to remind us your handle and whatnot, but stoked to see you. So really easy to find us, guys. So when you're at the stadium, it's the tailgate, find Lot D. You'll see the big blue Mile High Huddle tent that says State of Being, MHH. It's not hard to find us, especially if you know it's in Lot D. We'll be expecting folks around 11. We'll probably be set up a little bit sooner than that, earlier than that, but we'll go from about 11 till 140, 145-ish, pack it all in, then it's time to go into the game. So even if you're not able to go to the game yourself, come hang out with us for a couple hours. Even if it's not for a couple hours, come stop by for a few minutes. If you're walking around the stadium, come say hi. We'll be there. Looking forward to it. Can't wait. And Nick, had a lot of fun, dude, having you on the show. This was a
thanks
blast,
for having
bro.
me. Yeah.
Special shout out though to the Super Chat superstars, supporters, members helping us keep the lights on. Boss Man Jay leading the way tonight, like the boss that he is. Thank you, buddy. Josh throwing down a super, also becoming a member. Our dear friend and member Phil McLaughlin on Facebook. Ralph the Brace Girdles. See you on Sunday, buddy. Also MBLEX gifting a membership. See you on Sunday. Can't wait.
Thank you so much, guys, for everything. We will see you Sunday in person for the meet and greet, and then we'll also do the gut reaction after. Have a great weekend. Take care, and as always, everyone now,
Let's go.
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.